Gold and silver are breaking records right now, and I mean massive records, the kind that change everything. China just made a move that could shake the entire precious metals market. Turkey is buying silver like never before. Russia's involved in something strange. Texas is doing something nobody expected. Even the biggest crypto investors are now rushing into gold. And people keep asking, are we in a bubble? Wait until you see the data. It will shock you. We're also going to talk about Apple Computer and what it tells us about the future of precious metals. Plus, a major warning. Uncertainty is at levels we've never seen before in human history. But here's the thing. This uncertainty is actually going to make you and me stronger as silver and gold investors. This is not just another video. This is the most important breakdown we've ever done. You're about to see charts that will blow your mind. Stories from around the world that prove we are living through something historic. And facts that show we are still so early. Most people have no idea what's coming. But you will. Before we go any further, I need your help. Con Invests is on a mission to reach 80,000 subscribers. We're so close. If you're getting value from this content, if you're learning something new, if this is helping you make better decisions, please hit that subscribe button right now and smash the like button too. It helps more people find this channel. We're all in this together. When you subscribe, you're joining a community of people who think differently, people who refuse to follow the crowd, people who want to protect their financial future. Take 2 seconds, subscribe, like the video, and let's keep growing this family. Thank you so much for your support. Gold just hit an all-time record. A weekly close that has never been higher in history. This is massive. Despite all the volatility we've seen lately, gold closed at the highest weekly level ever recorded. Think about what that means. This isn't just a random spike. This is a sustained move, a signal. And when gold does this, it brings attention. Big institutional investors start paying attention. People who only have 1 or 2% of their money in precious metals start asking questions. They start wanting in. And that's exactly what we need. More eyeballs on this sector. Because what's good for gold is good for silver. Don't fool yourself. Those big players will be joining us soon. And silver? Silver is even more interesting. The corrections we've seen recently are simply moving silver from weak hands to strong hands. From people who panic to people who understand what's happening. Patient capital is taking over. Now let's talk about China. This is huge. China just cracked down on paper silver. Fake silver. The stuff we call fantasy island silver. China is banning gold and silver rehypothecation. They're banning off-exchange derivatives. This story could break the cartel. Leveraged paper positions will not be tolerated anymore. Physical gold and physical silver deliveries will be enforced. No more fractional reserve tricks. No more games. China is saying the game is over. A derivative is basically a bet on a bet. Imagine you're at a casino playing blackjack and someone else is making side bets on your bets. That's a derivative. China is clamping down on all of it. They're recognizing that silver and gold are physical markets now. This used to be a war between physical and paper. Now it's a war between the COMEX paper fantasy markets and the real physical markets in China and India. Things are changing fast. Let's look at a chart from one of the most respected chartists in the world. North Star Bad Charts called this perfectly. Back on December 21st, he warned everyone. He said, be mentally prepared for a large correction. And we got it. But here's the key. He also said, we have barely even begun this bull run. Look at the chart. There's a massive cut pattern and then the handle. He predicted the big move up, he predicted the correction, and now he's saying we're just getting started. Even during the handle formation, we saw a 34% drop in silver. We even had 40% drops, twice. These pullbacks are normal. They're part of the process. Remember the 1970s? From 1970 to 1980, silver went on a massive bull run. But in 1974, right in the middle of that run, there was a 47% pullback. These corrections are no fun. Nobody enjoyed that brutal Friday a couple weeks ago, but it's normal. It's not a bug, it's a feature. And if history repeats, we could see silver go up 12 times from here. Not 12%, 12 times. That's what happened from 1974 to 1980. Now let's talk about Turkey. Turkey just imported a record high amount of silver in January, 273.3 tons. That's up from 65 tons in December. Physical demand for silver is exploding. Whether we're talking about China, India, Turkey, or Europe, we're hearing reports from Germany that wholesalers and retailers can't get silver. They're waiting 3 months for inventory. This is real. 273 tons of silver equals about 8 or 9 million ounces. If you annualize that, Turkey alone would be buying over 100 million ounces per year. The entire world mining industry only produces about 800 million ounces per year. And that's not even counting what India and China are buying. Let's talk about what happened on Thursday this week. We had a mini crash in silver. It dropped 10%. It was based on a report from Bloomberg claiming Russia was suddenly becoming best friends with the United States again, that they were going to start using the dollar. Bloomberg put out this huge headline and the silver chart crashed. But we knew something was off. And guess what? We were right. Russia came out and denied the whole thing. Russia is not considering a return to the US dollar system. The Russian central bank chief confirmed it. So that whole Thursday crash, it was manufactured. Here's another warning. The Chinese New Year starts this Sunday. The Chinese metals markets will be closed for 9 days. That means the COMEX paper market and the LBMA will be in charge of gold and silver prices. Be prepared for anything. But when China comes back online, the rest of 2025 is going to get very interesting. Let's talk about Texas. Texas passed legal tender legislation for gold and silver. They built their own state depository, a vault where people can store precious metals. But here's the big news. Austin, Texas just announced they will produce their own money, gold and silver coins for IRAs and 401ks. The initial batch will be commemorative coins, but down the road they'll make larger batches for statewide use in retirement accounts. Now these coins won't officially be legal tender in Texas yet, but they are being produced by the state of Texas, and they can be used in retirement accounts. The big point here is mass adoption. Gold and silver are being recognized as valuable ways to store wealth and protect your financial future. Now let's talk about why it's a big deal that a major name in the crypto world is investing in physical gold. Eric Voorhees, an early Bitcoin supporter, just bought millions in tokenized gold. Tether, a massive crypto company, now holds $23 billion in gold. That's more than many governments. He bought almost $7 million in tokenized gold. We've been talking about tokenized gold and silver for months. We're way ahead of the curve. Whether you like crypto or not doesn't matter. Gold and silver are being tokenized. They're being put on the blockchain. Tether is now the world's largest buyer of gold outside of central banks. For every token they create, they must have an ounce of physical gold to back it up. It's in a vault in Switzerland. It's audited. It's real. As this grows, it will create a massive wave of demand for physical gold and silver. You don't have to like crypto, but you can appreciate tokenization because it's going to create huge demand. People all around the world will be able to store and transact in gold and silver easily. Tether does a great job storing gold for people. They can sell it anytime, 24 hours a day. They can sell small fractions and pay almost no fees. Compare that to selling physical gold at your local coin shop where you'll pay a hefty fee. I love physical metal. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. But tokenization will bring massive adoption. The guy who runs Tether was asked about his gold price prediction. He said he wouldn't even say it because people would think he's crazy. He believes the price of gold is going to explode. Are we in a bubble? Let's look at the evidence. We are absolutely not in a bubble for gold and silver. Look at this chart from Ronnie Stoefferle, one of the most respected names in the sector. This chart shows cumulative inflow by asset class from 2020 to today. Cash has seen 5 trillion flow in. Equities have seen 3 trillion, bonds have seen 2.4 trillion, and gold? You can barely see it, 0.1 trillion. Very little money has flowed into gold compared to stocks and bonds. And when we talk about gold, imagine silver. Silver is usually just a small percentage of gold. When the rest of the people start to wake up, especially in the United States, there won't be much room left. Only 1% of people in the United States own physical silver. When the other 99% want in, it's going to be chaos. But wait, there's more. Look at this chart. Apple Computer is worth almost 10 times more than every listed US gold and gold mining ETF combined. People keep saying gold is crowded, but the entire gold ETF stack is the size of Procter & Gamble. The potential is incredible. And when we talk about gold, we're talking about silver too. The potential is actually bigger for silver. Apple is 10 times more valuable than the whole gold and gold mining ETF sector combined. Think about this. When you buy gold or gold mining ETFs, you're getting something real. When you buy Apple stock, you're getting maybe 1 to 3% real assets. The rest is fluff. When you put money into gold ETFs or mining companies, you're getting $70 to $80 of real assets for every 100 you invest, sometimes even more. Same with silver mining stocks and physical silver. Now let's talk about uncertainty. Gold and silver are safe haven assets. People go to them in uncertain times because for thousands of years, they've proven themselves as stores of value. Uncertainty is good for precious metals, and right now, uncertainty is at unprecedented levels. Look at this chart. The Global World Uncertainty Index just reached an all-time high. This comes from the Federal Reserve. We used to barely go above 40 on this index. Now we're at 100,000. Uncertainty is exploding. What is this index? The World Uncertainty Index tracks global economic and political uncertainty by text mining reports. It counts how many times the word uncertain appears in quarterly reports for 143 countries. All over the world, we have a record amount of uncertainty right now. And one thing I'm certain of, we're in good hands with gold and silver. We covered everything today. A record in gold, China cracking down on paper, charts showing we're just getting started, Turkey buying record amounts of silver, Russia and the fake Bloomberg story, Texas making their own coins, crypto investors buying tons of physical gold, proof we're not in a bubble, and yes, we're in uncertain times, but we're not going to keep our heads in the sand. We're going to learn, we're going to stay informed, and we're going to protect our wealth. Thank you so much for being here. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you next time.